Magandang araw po. Kung pamilyar po kayo sa ilang ugali ng mga tupa, matutuwa ka at maiinis. Matutuwa ka dahil madaling-madali po silang ipastol. Kung matino kang pastol, susunod sa iyo ang mga tupa mo. Kilala nila kasi ang boses mo. Madali ding i-pattern ang kanilang behavior. Sabi halimbawa ng isang pastol, kung papasok na daw sila sa kulungan at maglalagay ka ng patpat sa pintuan, tatalunin nila ito. Kapag inalis mo na ang patpat na yan, lahat ng mga kasunod na tupa magsisitalon pa rin daw kahit wala na yung patpat, ha? Kasi gumagaya lang sila sa mga nauna. Nakakatuwa yan, pero ayan din ang nakakainis sa kanila. Noong July 2005, naibalita ng Associated Press ang isang trahedya sa Turkey. Nagulat ang mga Turkish shepherds nang isa sa kanilang tupa ay biglang tumalon sa bangin. Lalo naman silang nagulat nang walang ano-ano ay sumunod sa pagtalon sa bangin ang iba pa nilang mga tupa. Pambihira. Masamang balita yan. Kinalaunan, 450 na sheep ang namatay. Yung ilang nabuhay ay dahil na nakusyon ang kanilang pagbagsak sa bottom ng bangin ng mga namatay na tupa doon. Kalungkot naman yan. Itong pagsunod blindly sa isang leader to jump off a cliff has definitely some obvious applications sa ating religious issues throughout history, about many leaders who claim to have a mission from God, yet mga false leaders or prophets naman who bring the unsuspecting followers off to a spiritual cliff. Mayroong ilang characteristics ang destructive religious movements na sinisimulan ng false shepherds. Magandang maging aware tayo para alam natin ang anyo ng mga pinapasok natin o ng mga mahal natin sa buhay. Una ay mind control. Ikalawa, merong charismatic leadership yan usually. Ikatlo, may deception. Ikaapat, exclusivity. Ikalima, alienation. Ikaanim, exploitation. At ang huling karakteristik ay meron pong totalitarian worldview ang mga religious movements na ito that are dangerous and destructive. Yung mga characteristics na yan presume that mainstream religions tulad ng Christianity generally do not exhibit these dangerous characteristics. But, ang tanong, don't they also exist sa major religions? Halimbawa, dangerous destructive religious movements use mandated hunger. That is, no food rule. Hindi tulad ng Catholic fasting ito, pero meron silang ganyan mga rules, walang pagkain to break down the resistance of members. So does Judaism also, Ang Judaism mandates ta'anit. Ito pong ta'anit, ito yung fast in Judaism in which one abstains from all food and drink, including water. Hindi naman ganyan sa Catholic Church, di ba? Ang mga dangerous movements also isolate members para sa indoctrination sessions. Pero ang tanong, hindi ba ang Catholicism at ang Christian traditions also hold closed-door retreats as well? Even for as long as 30 days. Merong 30-day retreat, di ba? Members of dangerous movements practice exclusivity and isolation. That's what Catholic monks do, di ba? And some lay people as well. Cults get money from their followers for finances. Catholic churches also do as well, as televangelists and practically all sects and denominations of mainstream religions. Cults use mind control. But this is precisely the means in varying modes of all religions in order to arrive at metanoia or to change their followers' way of life. So, ano po ang pagkakaiba natin sa mga dangerous movements na ito? Ito po, itong mga dangerous movements ay merong pinatutupad na Orwellian doublethink o neologism. Ano pong ibig sabihin ng doublethink? Ang mga dangerous movements po, pinag-iisa nila ang authority at kapangyarihan or power over its membership, not by providing a coherent theological system, but by providing the exact opposite po nito, ang unstable theology. And this comes about by controlling its religious language. How? Through ambiguity, kalabuan, definitional reversals, mga kabaliktaran, at deliberate imprecisions. Ang method na ito, ang tawag ng experts ay Orwellian doublethink. Ito ay method ng paggamit ng lengguwahe as a means of control. Well, ang tawag ko dito para madaling maintindihan ay neologism. Ito po ay ang pagbibigay ng mga bagong pakahulugan sa mga lumang terminolohiya. Halimbawa, may tanyag na pastor, kilala nyo po ito na nagke-claim na siya daw ang appointed Son of God. Naniniwala siya kasi na siya ay equal to Jesus, as He is the begotten Son and the Son of God, in the theological sense of Jesus' eternal sonship. Okay, hindi nga physically dangerous sa mga movements na ito, pero doctrinally, they are very dangerous. Pero ano meron sila na wala ang Catholic Church? Bakit sila naging dangerous? Kasi ito, extremism. Kasama dito ang term sa extremism, ang exclusivism. Para kasi sa kanila, yung ibang churches ay Satan-led churches. The more explicit the teachings, the more dangerous the cult becomes. Halimbawa, palaging target nila ang Catholic Church. Bakit? Kasi it is the largest potential source of converts. Kaya ang estilo nila is always to convince people of its own doctrines, not by proving that they are right, but by attempting to prove that the Catholic Church's teachings are wrong. At ito pa, meron silang mandated harm. Yung mga destructive religious movements are those that deliberately and systematically inflict harm on others. Halimbawa, ang fundamentalist faith healing groups tulad ng Followers of Christ, narinig nyo na ba yan? Also known as the General Assembly Church of the Firstborn. They prohibit professional medical treatment and prescribed medications. Naku po, hindi natin alam how they are treating now yung mga tinamaan ng COVID sa kanilang mga membro. Locally, scores of Philippine cults are virtually unknown until they make the headlines with, of course, a criminal beat to them. Ang dami po niyan sa probinsya, mga kulto, mga sekta, denominations, or religions that encourage hatred against outsiders and approves inflicting physical harm against non-members. No? They may not even fall under any of these aforementioned religious categories, but they are outright terrorist and criminal groups posing as religious agrupations. Kaya mag-ingat po tayo Sa pagtatapos, ipakikita ko lang sa inyo ang isang social experiment na maaaring maging babala sa atin. Kasi pwedeng maging influence ang mga kaibigan o kasama sa pagsapi sa kung ano-anong makabagong religious movements na sa unay akala natin tinig ng mabuting pastol ang sinusunod. Yun pala ay sariling tinig lang ng puso nila.
We set up a hidden camera experiment to see if this woman would stand up at the sound of this tone, simply because everyone else is. You might be thinking you'd never go along with this. Or would you? After just 3 beeps, and without knowing why she's doing it, this woman is now conforming perfectly to the group. But what happens if we take the group away?
Elaine, please.
Okay, now she's alone. The crowd is gone and nobody is watching her, except our hidden cameras. What do you think she'll do? She's now conforming to the rules of the group without them even being there. Now, watch what happens when we introduce another outsider who doesn't know the rules.
For a noon appointment.
Have a seat, and they'll be out in just a couple minutes.
Great,
Thanks so much.
By mistake.
Everybody was doing it, so I thought I was supposed to.
Think she'll teach the new guy what to do? We kept the cameras rolling as more unsuspecting patients arrived. And slowly but surely, what began as a random rule for this woman has now become the social norm for everyone in this waiting room. Here to explain what's going on in their brains is Jonah Berger of the University of Pennsylvania.
This sort of internalized form of herd behavior is part of what we call social learning. Starting at a very early age, when we see members of our group perform a task, our brains literally reward us for following in their footsteps.
When I saw everybody stand up, I felt like I needed to join them. Otherwise, I'm like excluded. Once I decided to go with it, then I felt much more comfortable.
Conformity is how we become socialized, but it can also cause us to develop bad habits or repeat past wrongs.
And it's why even this rebel, who wasn't standing for any of this nonsense, eventually joined the ranks. And the only thing more shocking than seeing how easily conformity affects the way you act is that similar forces are subconsciously shaping the way you think.
Bantayan nawa tayo ng mabuting pastol. Amen.